Hi everyone and welcome to Fresh from my garden. In today's video I am talking about 5 trailing or climber flowering plants. The first one up is the Bougainvillea plant. It's a beautiful evergreen woody climber which has flowers in different colors and shades. This is a drought tolerant plant and requires minimum 6 to 8 hours of sunlight and blooms from December to May. This beautiful evergreen wine, which blooms almost throughout the year, is the Caffeinemia or the Australian gold wine. It's also known as shower of gold because of the beautiful yellow flowers that you can see in between these bright green leaves. This plant requires full sunlight and is planted in the south side of our garden. And as you can see, it grows all the way up to our terrace. And it has beautiful yellow flowers growing throughout the year. We don't really take too much care of this plant except for an occasional pruning and fertilizing once in 3 months. This has been planted in the ground and has beautiful lush green leaves and these yellow flowers throughout the year. They need regular watering and attract a lot of pollinators like bees and butterflies to your garden. This plant is a beautiful addition to borders, hedges, or on pergolas where it can create a canopy of green and yellow and stay beautiful with lots of blooms throughout the year. These beautiful red flowers are part of the morning glory family and is known as the Cypress Wine or the Red Star Glory. We have planted this in a spot that receives morning sunlight and afternoon shade. It can also tolerate full sun, but the leaves are very delicate and fern like and may get burnt with too much of harsh sunlight. Though it is part of the morning glory family, it is not as invasive as the morning glory, and these plants can easily be propagated from seeds that form after the flower has bloomed and dried out. We have planted this in a container on our terrace, and as they form seeds, we add those seeds to the container so that we can get a continuous bloom of these beautiful red flowers. This plant is also known as the hummingbird vine since it attracts hummingbirds and bees and butterflies. They can be easily grown in containers, and adding a small support structure for these trailing plants to climb on will make it look more bushy and beautiful. This is the sweet autumn clematis or the Clematis turniflora, which blooms usually towards the end of the summer. They tolerate morning sun and afternoon shade, and they produce these beautiful, fragrant, white colored star shaped flowers. Once the blooming season is over, they need to be pruned back so that they don't produce seeds, and only if they are pruned well, they grow a lot of lush green leaves and new flowers in the next season. We have this in a container on our terrace, and after this blooming season, it must be pruned back for it to get new blooms in the new season. As you can see, we have a support structure or a trellis made out of metal and some wooden sticks to support this plant as it grows. This plant will bloom well only if it is pruned back after the growing season and then fertilized again in the spring when the new leaves start to grow. All these flowering plants should be fertilized with NPK fertilizer at the beginning of the blooming season and then every 3 weeks during the season. These are our Paciflora vines. Passiflora is a tropical plant that does well in warm and humid weather conditions, and this is our passion fruit wine, which produces passion fruit in addition to the flowers. There are some Passiflora varieties that don't produce fruit and are grown only for these beautiful flowers. Passiflora flowers come in purple and also in pink or red varieties. Since this is also a tropical plant, it requires full sun and it doesn't require too much of care except for fertilizing once in 6 months. These plants like humid weather and regular watering. So, these are a few of the trailing or flowering vines from our garden. As we add newer plants to our garden, we'll share the updates on our channel. Please keep watching for more updates. Thanks for watching Fresh from My Garden.